Hi everyone, welcome to your March Alchemy Scope. So let's take a look and see what is the macrocycle, what is the narrative that is underpinning the energy set and the growth cycle for all of us, for the collective. So to do that, we look at the Sabian Symbol, and this month's new moon is also an annular solar eclipse. And it's happening at 8 degrees 12 minutes Pisces on the 26th of February 2017. At that point, the Sabian symbol is a jockey spurs his horse, intent on outdistancing his rivals. So if we look at the keynote for this particular symbol, we have intense mobilization of energy and skill in the drive for success in any social performance affected by the competitive spirit. This is talking about every superfluous weight, every unnecessary consideration is to be dismissed in the one-pointed attempt to reach one's social goal. One of the key words for this symbol is self-quickening. So let's take a look. That's the energy for all of us. The collective is going through a self-quickening portal of evolution, okay? And again, the keynote for this symbol, intense mobilization of energy and skill. Aquarius high. In the drive for success in any social performance affected by the competitive spirit. Okay, so let's take a look and see what is the specific narrative for your particular sign. Aquarius, welcome to your March story. What is the alchemic journey of your soul's unfolding, your evolutionary story? So, as you can see, I'm having difficulty holding the cards. That's one thing. But as you can see here, we have two forms, right? Square, circle. Please choose one that you're most resonant with. What is the one that's speaking to you most? That is going to give you a distinct message for your particular path. What this is representing essentially is two branches of the Aquarius evolutionary ego journey, okay? So go ahead and select one. While you do that, I'm going to go ahead and finish shuffling and selecting the archetypal growth edge for both square and circle branches of the Aquarius bifurcated path. So let's take a look and see what's coming up for square. And circle. Okay. All right, let's peek at those now, and then we'll talk about them more in depth after we do the reveal. Okay, beggars come up before during the month of March for another sign, so this is definitely needing attention from a large demographic. So we have beggar for the squares and virgin for the circles. So we'll talk about those when we reveal the spreads. So if you need more time selecting one of the forms, go ahead and put the video on pause. Otherwise, I'll do the reveal. Okay, beauties, so let's take a look and see what came for you. Firstly, we're going to start with the squares. The yellow bordered cards that you see here are the Bral Talej deck. The link is down below in the video, in the description box. And the white bordered cards for the circles are my own Siri deck. As I've said in some of the other scopes, many people have asked me if these are for sale, but they're not. I don't have copyright on these images, so these are my own deck that I use for my own languaging, my own conversation with spirit. Okay, so let's start here. And this in the center are the Druidcraft Tarot. So I have to tell you, the narrative for the squares is a juicy one. I'm happy to see this because it's going to be interesting to see how you feel into what's coming forward for you. Essentially, the main narrative of your growth and evolution over the course of March, this Pisces new moon cycle, is a returning of your vital energies, a returning of a more balanced state of being, a returning from something that felt more imbalanced or a lack of vital life force energy. You might have been sick. Here, the Queen of Wands is coming up as well. So what this is saying is that there's a returning to a kind of vital, fiery, forceful, grounded, kind of committed, resolute, energetic, creative power. So there's a life force that's coming back into being. And we'll dive deeper into this when we look at the reading. So what's coming up on the spiritual sector is a remembering. So spiritually, at some level, you're thinking back on a deep level, on a very foundational level, you're thinking back on your kind of rediscovering your resolute nature. Insisting is talking about going for something, being focused, putting your attention and intention on a desire. And here you're remembering that you had that. You're remembering your insisting nature on finding that which you love, desire, wish for yourself, etc. So what I get with that is that there's a more, and it goes with this, returning and Queen of Wands. It's like you're rediscovering your fire. You're rediscovering your vital life force. I love that. And there's a resolution with it. You become resolute in a decision that you're going to make. Here, there's a couple things. One is, let's look at the mental first. In your mind, you're going to be thinking about quickly bringing into manifestation, quickly desiring for yourself to make manifest fun, joy, play. So your thoughts are going to be around bringing forward fun. Here, there's contrast and effort coming up in the base of the reading. And contrast has to do with, it's interesting, I will tell you, because the contrast card has come up in 3 spreads over the course of the March scopes. So contrast is talking about opposition. A contrasting experience is you have an experience with a relationship or a situation or a circumstance that contrasts how you stand or what you feel or what you think. So there's some opposition. Here, there's effort with that. So either you're putting effort to, it's like your energy is such that you're able to put effort into combating or meeting contrasting relationships, circumstances, events, situations. So you're able to have the energy to put effort into dealing with contrast in your life experience. And again, that goes back to this Queen of Wands. Now, for some of you, this is going to be talking about new projects that want to come forward, creative projects, okay? Now, this is what I get for the emotional sector. The preparing card is coming up in the emotional sector. So is giving, okay? And so is defeat. And what I get for this, because we're looking at the reading as a whole and we're not looking at anything in too isolated a way, what this is saying, preparing, giving, defeat, is that you were feeling maybe defeated. You were perhaps feeling like you were preparing. You feel that what you do, you might have felt that what you do, the effort that you put into things, is met with contrast. But what I get here is that you're desiring to return to your creative vital life force. And indeed, this is the energy that's pushing to come forward for you, squares. I hope that makes sense. So here, there's
a feeling that you might be experiencing or that you're coming out of just recently experiencing, feeling defeated that what you give and what you do, what you create, prepare is talking about what you create with your hands or whatever, doesn't matter because there's a feeling of defeat around it. Okay? So with that being said, and with this effort to, let's say, combat the contrast or the limit or the boundary that you might be feeling, again, this is good, returning Queen of Wands, because there's a charge. And again, here it's about resolution, remembering, finding, insisting your power. This is confidence as well. So there's a sense of confidence. And certainly the Queen of Wands is also very confident in her power, in her voice, in what she creates. And so this is a good thing. Now, if we look here at Beggar, this is the growth edge for you this month. And what Beggar is talking about is moving out of a dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. Okay? So what this is talking about is not participating. This is about dependency on others and not participating in your own journey. Here, what wants to be evolved is confronting empowerment at the level of physical survival awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. Now here again, Queen of Wands is confident. She's very willful. She does what she knows is right, what she feels bliss around. She follows her bliss. So here is a confident person. She's willing to follow it. She insists on her own path confidently. Here, the growth edge is to develop that sense of confidence. There is a bit of non-dependency on other and the development of your own inner power and ability to self-sustain. Okay? Now let's go to the circles. Now, I don't want to start with the center, I don't think. Let's talk about the mental sector first for the circles. Firstly, we have thoughts about imagining. So you're going to be doing a lot of imagining, fantasizing, visualizing around a lack of problem. When the Five of Wands is reversed, this is about a lack of conflict. That's how I read the reversals of the tarot. So here, upright, this is about competition. It's about, argument, fight, competition. It's more of a playful competition. But there's a bit of a struggle, a bit of a battle. It's a bit of a battle of wills and ego. When it's reversed, there's a desire for none of that, especially here, because you're imagining this to be over. Any battle in your life with relationships, whatever it is, to be over, okay? So your thoughts over the course of March, circles, is for that to be over. Now, where do I want to go next with this with you? Because essentially what's happening is there's a trust happening for the circle path, okay? So in the center of the reading, we have a couple of things. One is the cannot be known card. This comes up when either it's best for us really not to know the path ahead, because if we know, it's going to influence our behavior set in a way that will actually interrupt the synchronistic flow of the universe and what is best for our unfolding. But it also means that you just don't know. There's an air of mystery. Things haven't settled into place around a certain project, desire, whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest for yourself. Here, there's a level of the unknown that's at play at the center of your March narrative. The moon, obviously the moon has different meanings, because the moon as a body has the function of reflecting the sun. So it's a reflection function within us. So the moon talks about how we reflect, what we reflect. And because it's not sunlight, it's not brightly lit, it's reflected light, it creates shadow. And those shadows are hard to see clearly. So what's in the shadows is hard to see. So that can, bring up delusion and illusion, etc. With regards to the moon, though, it also speaks to deep psychic intuition. So it's interesting because what I get for you is that you are going to be, things are not going to be quite settled for you with regards to a particular event or circumstance in your life, but you're going to be trusting it intuitively. I think you're going to be going within, you're going to be reflecting, but you're going to be trusting the intuitive state of being with regards to the unknown. Because inherently the moon talks about the unknown. It talks about that which cannot be identified in the shadow, okay? That which is not lit yet, okay? But here spiritually, look at this. Circles. So you have the connection card. This is talking, and by the way, iterations of connection have been coming up for many, many signs this month. So whether it be friends or community or connection, it's coming up for many signs this month in March. For you, spiritually, connection is at play. Beauty. You want the beauty of nature, perhaps. You're wanting the beauty of connection. And you're believing in that. So that's why the faith element is coming up yet again for you. So over the course of March, you're going to be believing in the beauty that you know that you want, whether you have it now or whether you're desiring it to come. Keep in mind, you're going to be imagining no strife, right? So here, connection to beauty, you're believing in that. You have a trust, a faith. And it's interesting, I have to say, because if we look here at the emotional sector, we have money coming up with regards to home. So what I'm getting with this is that for, let's say, a good portion of the Aquarius circles over the course of the cycle, there's a faith, a belief that you have that community will show up for you, and that the money that you may have or that you may be lacking is going to show up with regards to perhaps a new home that you're wanting to find for yourself. A lot of you are going to be wanting more nature and more community, okay? And you, spiritually, that's aligned. You're believing in what you desire. And at some level, you're feeling like that would be an abundant home. And for others of you, money with regards to the new home that's wanting to be manifested, or money in the home that you're wanting to make better for yourself, renovate, make more aligned with your desires. There's something about that you're believing is going to manifest. Okay? So even though things are unknown, you're having trust and faith that something around home, community and friends, connection with people, and nature is going to manifest, whether or not you have the money. So there's something where you're opening up to trust and faith. Here, it's interesting because the giving card is coming up. Now, this is showing a giving of energy. And obviously, when we give, when we're generous monetarily, it is a flow of energy. Money is just energy. At the base of the reading in March, you are going to be giving of yourself in some way, shape, or form. And it might be to a creative venture, because the Wands card is creativity. It's fire, it's innovation, it's creative action. And here, when it's upright, it's competition in that realm. Here, your desire is no competition, right? So your desire is for there to be no strife with it. But nevertheless, many of you out there are going to be, let's say, beginning to give of your energies, your creative vitality energies in projects, in creative works, in works of beauty. And because the connection card's coming up, it might be that your desire ultimately is to work with others, to give of yourself, but to collaborate with others. But I think in March, you're going to be starting to give of yourself. So if you already are giving of yourself, that's going to perpetuate. If you're not yet, it's going to start. There's something that wants to push forward through you in the month of March. Okay? Now, let's take a look at your growth edge. So here we have Virgin. And Virgin is talking about here a fear of an intimate union. right? Now, fear of intimate union can be between two people or a group of people. It could be fear of relationship. This is just fear of connecting. And because the connection card's coming up here, there's a relationship very distinctly about just connecting with others. So here, the growth edge for you is about growing out of a fear of union, a fear of intimacy. Here, what wants to be matured is maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Now, what I will say for both the squares and the circles is that, as I've done for the last couple of years, I've pulled your I Ching to bring another layer to the unfolding narrative for you. And I've also pulled your Dakini. What archetypal energy set, who are you to become and embody over the course of this cycle, this Pisces new moon, March 2017 cycle, to flow with natural least effort. That, and to connect and learn about all of my services, whether you want a one-on-one session with me, you'd like to get very clear on your soul stories, your encoded soul stories, whether you're interested in working with me on shadow integration, whether you're interested in your own divinatory reading, whatever it might be, a relationship package, etc. All of that data is in your library, and you can find that at thealchemyofholism.com/library. Okay, Aquarius. Well, it will be a powerful month, as it will be for all the signs. Over the course of the cycle, it will become exponential as the year 2017 rolls on. So I'm sending you much love for your journey, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye.